Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Phillies Weekly. Another week of our Fighting Phils. Was an interesting, very interesting week. We had the Field of Dreams game. The Phillies go 4-for-2 for the week. We did not have a good series against the Cardinals, losing a couple games there, but then we sweep the Minnesota Twins in great fashion. I mean, our hitting truly woke up, and today we have a very, very special show with some wonderful guests here with us. Let me bring them on. There they are. Mr. Roger McNamee, Mr. Moon Alice is in the house. How you doing, Roger?
Fantastic, Oscar. I mean, never better. I'll tell you, after the first inning today, I wasn't sure I was going to make it in one piece, but you know, it's all looking good right now.
I mean, I was about to turn off the TV. I mean, when we were watching the game,
never,
and it said
Roger
never started sending me messages. We don't win during day games, and I said, "Come on, man, we're only 18-22." Yeah. Incredible. Nick Piccone is in the house. My MVP. I always call him my MVP. Nick Piccone, how you doing, brother?
Man, not feeling like an MVP today, but I'll take
come on, Nick. What's going on, dude? What's going on?
There's a reason there's no clips out there, and I feel like I let people down when that happens. So,
well, you can do the play-by-play here, and then we can do it. I mean, his computer is acting up on him, so anything we can do to back up our dear Nick Piccone, that would be wonderful.
I was thinking about early in the game. I was like, well, I won't have to worry about today's game, and then boom, they come back, and as soon as I get on it, like it happens, but. Listen, I'd rather deal with a win in that way. It was like the worst win of the season for me, but it's a win. And
that's what we call somebody that is dedicated to his team. How about that, Roger? Very impressive.
No, I mean, seriously, the wins like this give you real hope. Irrational.
It gives you hope. It gives you October baseball. Anything is possible. John, how you doing, brother?
Good. Doing a lot better than I was a few games ago. It's and like Roger was saying, this is a win that gives you hope. They hit. When they hit, you feel good about this team.
I already told John that we're going to be doing next time in September. We're going to be doing the show from his store, so we can be live there at Foley's, the Philly store.
Hey, for anybody who has not purchased from Foley's, I am a repeat customer of Foley's, and I can tell you, it is a fantastic shopping experience. And everybody should just go and check it out, because the great thing about John is the inventory is constantly changing. There's always new stuff, and there's stuff that's really surprising and really fun.
I always try to put it here as well. Go ahead.
No, just thank you, Roger, for the endorsement. That's very much appreciated.
Come on. I mean, the great stuff. I mean, if you're a Philly fan and you don't go to Foley's, I mean, I'm telling you, you're missing out. I put some of the new shirts. I love a sweatshirt you put in yesterday, a couple of days ago. Ooh, that white that says Philly on top.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as soon as I get to Philly, I'm getting one of those. I mean,
yeah, we have so many talented artists and designers, and we try to bring in some new stuff every week to keep it fresh.
That's a beauty of it. Nick, what are you being up to? I mean, how is the thermometer with the Phillies this week, this month? I mean, we're 10-5 for the month, so it's not as bad, is it?
No, it's it's something I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high, because what they've kind of been a 500 team since June, right? Like it's kind of hovering around.
Yeah, 13 average 15 after the All-Star game. I mean, it's we've lost what? We won, I think it's 4 out of 8 series, or we're 4-8. I mean, it hasn't been pretty. I mean, without a doubt.
No, so obviously sweeping the Twins is something that I didn't think would happen. So, of course, and the way they came back in today's game, didn't think it would happen. So those do kind of like give me hope towards like, okay, maybe if they finally get it going. But it's been so long since we've seen that. And really, I think the only time we've seen that this year is to get out of that 9-19 hole that they put themselves in just to get back in, the thick of it. But then almost kind of running out of gas a little bit, especially with the bullpen and everything. And I was like, okay, maybe this year it's just going to be like that. So when they start, if this is a beginning of a run, then I'll probably get sucked back in like all the way. But right now I'm still kind of like a little timid about buying completely in.
Look, Nick, we all back Velosolo's point there about loving what you do on Twitter, on X, and all the other platforms. Because it's not only X, right? Which are the other platforms you post the video?
On Blue Sky, Threads, and TikTok are the main four. Yeah,
hardest working man on the internet.
You do an amazing job, Nick, and looking forward to posting some of the Eagles calls that are coming up. I'll be there very soon. So. Season starts in, what is it, a month? Less than a month? I mean, it's incredible. I mean, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. So, and the other one here, let's see here. Kevin just put there, is there a world where signing Alec Bohm is in the offseason to a one-year contract, the Phillies' best option at third base? I don't know. Well, you know what? I promise we'll answer this question as we go into this, because I have a few things to say about Alec as we go into our conversation. So let's talk about the week, guys. An interesting series against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are in the hunt. I mean, they are, 3.5 games or something like that now out of the wild card. But this is a team that we needed to basically put to bed, and we didn't. We win the first game 6-5. Painter, we win the Painter game there, and then Nola throws a masterpiece the next day, and we lose 2-0. And then we only score one run. One of the worst. Christopher Sanchez was the second game. I'm sorry. Christopher Sanchez was the second game, and then we go with Wheeler. Wheeler wasn't at his best. He has not been at his best for the last 4 games. But we cannot hit. I mean, we just forget to hit. I mean, we cannot hit the Palantes of this world, some of the secondary pitchers. I mean, I mean, when you look at this, I mean, I came out depressed out of this series.
So, Oscar, I'd like to push back on that slightly. Okay. And so I think there's something really wrong with the roster, right? Particularly in offense. And, the inability to hit this year, particularly against lefties, is impressive. But it's really astonishing what putting a rise in the batting order after Harper has done to the team. And not just, the impact on Harper's been staggering, right? The number of walks he's taken since the trading deadline is, he's not quite at Barry Bonds level, but he's like at optimum Harper level. And I want to see where this goes, is what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not prepared. To Nick's point, I'm unfortunately a fan who I only know all in. Right. So I watch every inning of every game, no matter what the score is. And I see reasons for hope. I mean, I think, to the question that just got asked, I think the last 2 games that Bohm had, that's what we've needed from all year. But weirdly, if we get the best of Bohm between now and middle of October, that's going to be a huge deal. And I look at what's going on with Harper. I look at what's going on with Stott in particular. Those guys are playing at a level that you can get excited about. Now, I'm terrified about the fact that Sanchez and Wheeler have both had ERAs over 4 since the 1st of July. And, that's a source of
the strength of the team. Not showing up. To be honest with you, I'm less concerned. I think Wheeler will be fine. His velocity has been a mile down. I think he took out Sanchez because it was hot and 90 pitches. We'll look at that in a minute. I have it here. What happened in that outing? 6 innings by Sanchez, 4 hits. I mean, he didn't allow a base on balls and 7 strikeouts. So, I mean, the outing was there. I was surprised that he took him out with only 89 pitches. I mean, but he had 15 whiffs. So, I mean, the guy was dealing. I mean, on that second game, we just couldn't hit. I mean, we forgot how to hit. And 0 runs in that game. And then the next game, only 1 run. And what upsets me the most is that we have opportunities. Look at the game today, right? The game starts, Schwarber hits a double. Stott's role is very simple. Hit a ground ball to a right side to move Schwarber to left side, and then with a Harper fly ball, he scores. I mean, he scores. I mean, it's a no-brainer with sacrifice fly. It's a no-brainer. The same thing happened in the next inning. I mean, and this week it happens with Arraez. Arraez in that game that we lost 2-0. He had the bases loaded with no outs. He hits a weak ground ball that is out at home plate, and then a double play at first base, and then the last one. I mean, we cannot score a run to tie the game. I mean, it's just those are the things that you start scratching your head and said, who are the real Phillies? I mean, who is this team? I mean, where's this team going? Because these guys need to do it. I mean, and it happened today. It's not like it had not happened. It happened today. I mean, we were lucky that we got that home run by Alec Bohm that got us back in the game. Without that home run, we don't win this game. Bottom line. So and then we go out to the Field of Dreams, and Schwarber hits 2 home runs. I mean, nobody better than Schwarber to create the dramatic. I mean, those are the best calls that we could have. I mean, when Harper Schwarber hits the home runs, and I mean, he's the epitome of what Field of Dreams is all about from a Phillies standpoint.
Yeah.
Explain to me 2 different teams.
Yeah, it's definitely 2 different teams. I would argue 8 different teams at times, the way you look at these guys. But I think when you look at it in totality, you can see that there is enough talent there that if they play their best at the right time, that they're good enough to get this thing done. Now, are the odds in favor of that? I don't know. But you do have, I mean, recent struggles, a little bit of struggling inside from Wheeler and Sanchez. They're always going to give you a puncher's chance against anyone in the series. You're going to need your contributions from Schwarber and Harper, obviously. And if these secondary guys like Stott and Bohm that seem to be heating up can be doing their thing, if that's clicking at the right time, then they make some noise in the postseason.
I mean, you can clearly feel that the missing link had been. I mean, Stott has been on a hitter for a while already, and Bohm. I mean, those 2 guys make a huge difference on this lineup because it expands the entire lineup, and it minimizes the swing and miss and the chasing that happens at the top of the order, which is one of the challenges this team has.
Bohm has really he's had an important role in this offense for the past few years, which is making contacts, hitting for average, doing the things that some of the superstars don't. Now you have Arraez playing that role now, and much more reliable and much better at it. But if you have both those guys making contact, and then you have your sluggers doing their thing, now you might have something cooking.
Yeah, so it is an interesting dilemma here. I mean, with this team, I mean, look at the last 2 games in St. Louis. We go 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position. I mean, we're not going to win too many games like that. And then this series and the first game, 4 for 9, then 3 for 11, and 3 for 12. I mean, we were able to get men on base. I mean, and get base hit, but we haven't been hitting that well. Even though, believe it or not, we're the second best team in all baseball in OPS with runners in scoring position, which to me, it is amazing. And if you want to look at it specifically who the Phillies team are, take a look at the bottom right. If you look at the bottom right, so in run scores, we're 16th in baseball. OPS, I think we're down to 15 after the game today. OPS 711, 20th in baseball. Percentage of strikeouts in baseball, we're 23rd out of 30 teams. Not getting enough base on balls, 8.5%, 23rd in baseball. We're 9th in home runs, and we're 18th in extra base hits. It shows you that you don't hit enough doubles there, being 18th in baseball with only 7.5%. So it's all over the place. And then our starting pitching is 11th in baseball, and our relief pitching is 24th in baseball. So we know we have an issue in the bullpen, not on the back end, but getting to the ninth inning. And by the way, Duran has been okay over the last few outings there, allowing a little bit more wild than we want.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me what I'm worried about the most, it's the bullpen, and just trying to talk myself into the bullpen is loud. I can make arguments in my head and tell myself why the offense might be okay. Rotation looks strong, at least up at the top. When I try to think about who's going to step up and really sort of stabilize the bullpen, that's where it gets tough to be optimistic.
So, John, I want to add one thing to that, though, which is that the thing we're not likely to fix this season is the defense and the base running. And the defense and the base running have been, I think, horrific. Is probably
we're the worst team in baseball on defense.
Yeah,
I mean, the defense is just, it's terrifying. I mean, if it weren't for the great highlights from the Mets and the Yankees, I would think we were alone at the bottom of the heap. But there's some other teams who have more flair in their defense than we have. You know, we have not been, letting the little league home runs happen. We just boot the place to short. And we, it's really interesting how putting Stott at third and Arise at second has increased our double plays, right? Because those two guys, Arise can actually turn a DP, which is fascinating because we just couldn't do it. And that's the part that scares me the most, because I'm looking at our depth, and I'm looking at whether it's Hill or Brian De La Cruz in particular, as those guys have really stepped up. And when we think about the runners in scoring position late in the game, it's astonishing to me how successful the two of them have been for us, and how when you think about teams that go deep, they always have players who look like that. And in Hill's case, he's also just a magnificent outfielder, and he's like a partial answer to how do you fix the fielding thing, right? But the bottom of the order has been incredibly clutch, and I want to throw in Crawford into that too, because Crawford's had a bunch of really clutch hits.
I want to say shout out to our friend Kyle Fisher. The Stott and bomb hitting, like fans know they can they can show how much length this offense could have and have shown in the past. Thank you, Kyle. Thanks for
3 cheers, Kyle. That is exactly the point, right? You throw in Stott and Bohm hitting like real major leaguers, like they're capable of, and then you have the depth guys, stepping up when we really desperately need them. That's a pretty, you can get excited about that part as long as they can field the ball, as long as they don't get thrown out on the bases, and as long as the middle relief doesn't give up 5 runs when we have a 5-run lead.
So we touched base on this a little bit, and the reality is it was an interesting week for pitching. Again, we won 4 out of 6 games for the week. We did not have the best version of Sanchez and Wheeler this week. We had a really good outing by Painter on the first one. Today he was awful. I mean, that's what. How in the world can you throw a sweeper and then immediately after you throw a hanging slider to the same guy? I mean, to me, it's unheard of. After giving 2 base on balls, I mean, he killed himself. I mean, he killed himself during the game. I mean, today in that first inning. I mean, after a first inning.
Do you guys think that the pitch selection was on him, or
his location, his pitch location?
Fair enough, but the choice on the grand slam, right after the guy hits the foul ball. Up and in's not where you're trying to throw.
I mean, he threw that
one
ball.
and 2 count. It was 1 and 2 count, right? So why even go back in there? He had
pitches to waste, right? I mean, to me, after he does that, you're supposed to throw one at his shoulder, right? You're supposed to back him off the plate and just say, "Excuse me, this is my plate." Right?
I mean, he should have learned the lesson from McFarland a couple of days ago. I mean, McFarland looks like the real deal. I love that kid. I love his arm. I love his composure. I think that kid can help us. That's my takeaway from him.
And so, Oscar, you're kind of, again, this is my point, that teams that go deep in the playoffs have 26 people who contribute. And we're gradually getting to a point where we have 26 people who ought to be able to contribute, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Maze's last 2 outings were terrific after he had 2 or 3 terrible ones before that, right? And, you have to look at that and you go, if it's not a prayer every time you're bringing in a depth person, you're in much better shape.
Yeah, and Luzardo, I mean, you got to give it to Luzardo. He's been absolutely amazing over the last 11 games. 11 games he started, 2.04 ERA, 7 innings, 96 strikeouts. He's been absolutely amazing. And the other guys that I want to give kudos to is Nola. I mean, Nola has reinvented himself. He's allowed 3 or less runs in 7 out of the last 8 outings, and he looked the part like a 4th starter.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Those are things. Hi, guys. While the bullpen is still questionable, I have to say that Bolin have been a revelation. Absolutely, Danny. He's been a revelation this year. Yeah. He's looked really, really, really good.
And he doesn't look like he's hit his top, right? He looks like he's still improving.
Velo, yes, but Andrew Painter is at 372, but he had a 230 starting today, 239 starting today, and then boom. Look, it's just, to me, it's just disappointing. How can you throw that? I mean, a similar pitch. Yes. You go from a sweeper to the slider, and you put that. I mean, he put in the sweet zone. The guy was waiting for it. I mean, he hit you one foul ball out of the park, and you're going to throw him a very similar pitch? No way. I mean, no way. Unacceptable. I mean, unacceptable.
Well, but in fairness, okay? I mean, that was the first inning. He goes 4 more innings.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good.
He gives up 1 run. I mean, to me, Painter's a work in progress, right?
Sure.
And he's going to be inconsistent. He's also not going to start any games in the playoffs if we're fortunate enough to make them. So I'm not worried about that part at all. What worries me that he has an ERA around 10 in the first inning, right? That's the real problem. That, this is Maze's problem too. If Maze can get by the first guy, he's usually fine, right? But with Painter, it's that first inning. He's just getting hammered in.
Yeah, but it does show you something. If you want to look at the silver lining, it does show you something that he can get hammered in that first inning.
Exactly.
And battle, and that's pretty impressive for a rookie.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited about Painter. I mean, notwithstanding how you could see the grand slam coming, right? Just you watch that first one, just barely miss the foul.
Unacceptable. Look, guys, bottom line, I mean, we've won our 4th series in 9 series after the All-Star break. I mean, things did not look good toward the end of July. It's looking much better in the month of August. Here's where we are, 69-58. At home, 32-30. Away, 35-28. Interesting. Playing this year much better at home. We've lost, I mean, how many series we've lost at home? 10 series? I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, last year we lost.
There's no home field advantage this year.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Sure. Mattingly's 58-39. I mean, it's been a roller coaster, all right. And we'll talk about Mattingly momentarily after a report that came today. Last 10 games, 30 games, 14-16, 10-10 the last 20, 6-4 in the last 10 games, 19-17. What worries me the most out of this entire slide is, by the way, we've improved significantly versus left-handed pitching. Now we're even at 20-20. What worries me the most is our record against team above 500. Again, you got to play whomever is in front of you, but we're 23-30 against teams above 500, and we're 43-28. So we're beating who we're supposed to beat. We're going to have to be much better and play more consistent baseball in all facets, including defense, as well as the role of our bullpen and running the bases when we get to October if we want to make it far. But here's the, I mean, on a nutshell, we are 77% of the season. We're how many games away? We're 37 games away from finishing the season. Here's where we are. Interesting enough, in the first half of the year, 4.37 runs we score per game. It's down here. It's week 1 to 16. 4.37 runs. Last year we scored 4.4 runs. And then so far in the first 5 weeks after the All-Star game, we're hitting 4.55. So we're beginning to hit much better. And then the other thing is pitching has been up and down a little bit. So this week was better. Last week was not as good. So we need a little bit more consistent pitching. And you see it here. And this primarily what you see on pitching, which is runs allowed per game in week 11 through 15. Basically what you see there is primarily the issues we have with our 4th and 5th starters. But that has been significantly improved. The issue has been more Wheeler than anybody else. I mean, our last four outings, I mean, Wheeler has a 7 ERA. So we need the real Wheeler to please come back. Please come back. Please come back and come back urgently. So any thoughts with this slide?
That's the issue about asking your pitching to be perfect, because you don't know what your hitters are going to do on a day-to-day basis. It's good that they've been hitting, and hopefully this lineup can get them, through August and September and into a playoff spot, because you can't. This is like the 3rd or 4th year in a row you're asking Wheeler and Sanchez and Nola through the years, and now Luzardo, to be as perfect as they can to give them a shot. And I hate that mental, it's mentally, it fatigues me mentally. I can't imagine what it feels like when you're a starter out there and you're Zach Wheeler or Chris Sanchez, and knowing that if you give up a run or two, it might be a loss, because that lineup is just, you can't trust that lineup, but you can trust someone like Zach Wheeler and Chris Sanchez. Now it's like almost the opposite, where you're not sure what you're going to get at Wheeler or Sanchez. But like, I still have faith in them more in October than I would the offense.
Yeah,
but
me too.
It's still August, and again, I feel like this team, it's a similar situation when we're watching them play as it was in 2022, where they were on the outside looking in and then hanging on to that 3rd wild card spot. And I'm not trying to compare the teams. I'm trying to compare the fan experience of watching the team. And it feels very similar. Obviously, 23, they kind of went on a run. 24 and 25, they had it locked up. But 22 and 26 feel similar.
23, they had the best team in baseball.
Yeah. So Nick, can I add something to that? Because my observation is, as a fan, that 22 is an insanely fun team, right? Expectations were low, and then we got upside surprises consistently at the end of the year. And there's no guarantee we're going to get upside surprises this year. But what's interesting is, I think if you're on this team, that kind of arrogance that would have been built into the 23, 4, and 5, where you knew you deserved to be there, and you knew you were great and all that. This year, there's no way they can pretend that this team is anything like as relatively dominant as they'd been the prior 3 years during the regular season. And I wonder if that's not a positive thing.
I agree.
When they win a game, I think they're as surprised as we are.
Especially when they come back games
That's
like
what
today.
I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked at that game today. Brian De La Cruz gets that hit after they're on the verge of blowing it again. And he was going.
I mean, he when he was swinging exactly to put it right there. And I just kidding. I mean, that was a lucky hit.
But
it works. It works. I mean, the same thing with ball.
It's baseball, Susan.
I'll tell you what, I mean, if you look at all of Oscar's fantastic color coding here, you see that's since week 17, all green in runs scored per game, 4 straight weeks. And it looks like that's the first time they've had 4 straight.
You want to score more than 4 runs? and you want to allow less than 4 runs. That's what this chart is all about. If you achieve both, you normally win that week without a doubt.
Yeah.
Except week 19 was the only exception.
So it does feel like the offense is coming around. Arise, a big part of that. Harper taking his walks in front of Arise. Stott and Bohm doing their thing. You know, and you start to think, it goes to Nick's point, maybe if this can continue into a 5th, 6th week, now maybe guys like Wheeler and Sanchez don't feel that pressure to be perfect. And if they're not feeling that pressure to be perfect and they know they got guys behind them who can score some runs, then maybe they relax and they pitch a little better. So it all plays off each other. And I think it starts with the hitting, and, you know, we'll see where it goes, but they've turned it around, you know, over the last 4 weeks. So we'll see.
And you'll see it in the hitting in a minute when I'll show a couple of slides in them. You know what? Let me pull that one first before we talked about the week. Let me pull this out for 1 second and let me put it in, because I think this slide is very telling. To me, this slide basically tells you exactly the Philadelphia Phillies. So you see there, our record is 67-58, awful April, very good May, outstanding June. So you see, May, we were carried by our pitching. In June, we were carried by our hitting. In July, we collapsed, and now we're back up. We're back up again. I mean, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, this like, it speaks. Who is the 2026 Philadelphia Phillies? There you go.
Yeah. No, it really does. It says everything. They could be a team that hits and can't pitch. They can be a team that can pitch and can't hit. They could be a team that does nothing. Or in certain months, June and August, they look like the team we hope they would be. So.
And it didn't feel in the beginning of the month that it was like that when we were started losing all those games after the All-Star game and all that. But look, the numbers don't lie. This is our last 15 games.
Yeah, and, you know, even if they have a poor September, then it'll really feel like 2022. But, you know.
Look at that on-base percentage. I mean, 362.
Listen to this. We were the worst. This number was 30th. 3 weeks ago, it was 30th in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, and suddenly Luis Arraez comes in, and the numbers begin to start looking a lot better. And now we're 23rd in baseball. We were the worst team in baseball in on-base percentage.
Yeah.
I think it goes to show
27, 29. I mean,
just how it affects this lineup mentally, especially Bryce Harper. I feel like whoever bats behind him makes a difference to him, whether the stats show it or not. Mentally, it affects him. So if he feels more comfortable with who's behind him, we see now and all the walks he's taken and stuff like that. Like he's more willing to just get on base however he needs to, rather than feel like he needs to be the hero.
Yeah, and that's always been the best version of Bryce Harper, is the Bryce Harper that takes his walks.
Right.
And now he's finally doing it. So it's great to see.
And this is, I mean, when you start looking at where our hitters are, here's where our hitters are. So you see kind of the roller coaster too, but it has, I mean, there are signs of improvement there. Even though I do believe that right now it's very few players that are hot. I mean, you look at Alec Bohm, you look at Stott, look at the Ragos so far. Look at Harper. Harper is really, really hot. Then Turner started and had a great July, but now he's cooled off again. Mm-hmm. And then Schwarber is a machine. I mean, Schwarber deserves a statue. I mean,
that's crazy. Like, he had like a terrible streak, but yet he's still in the green.
But look at Stott. I mean, look at Stott. It's steadily increasing. Look, 778, 789, 804, now 1008. I mean, and you start looking at these numbers, and they're good signs. And Roger, you were talking about De La Cruz and Hill, particularly Hill here. Look, their number, they started really good, but they have cooled off a little bit. And again, they're utility guys. I mean, I think Hill has been incredible. I mean, the plays that he's made and the hits he's gotten in key moments, I mean, has been incredible. Roger.
Well, there's nothing really to add to that. I mean, the core point when I look at this chart, right, is I look at JT, right, at 362 this month. And, Hill's not that many ABs, but JT's got a lot of ABs.
Yeah.
And, the reality is that you can do very well with guys who are between 650 and 700, as long as you've got guys who are north of 800 and north of 1,000, right? And, the
Crawford is encouraging, by the way. Crawford is encouraging.
Yeah, but obviously in a situation where your backup to JT is Stubbs, whose numbers are potentially even lower than 362, right? The catcher slot. The great thing though is that both of those guys have thrown out a lot of people on the bases. I think in general they handle the pitchers very well.
Talking about catcher, look at the question by Kyle here. I know we don't have much catching depth, and Marchana Stops could refuse an assignment, but seeing how the bench guys have contributed makes you question carrying 3 catchers as long as they have. Look, Marchana is a better defensive catcher. I do believe that there's a magic to Stubby that makes him very, very special.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't want Stubb out of this team at this point.
It's not, I think Marchand is a terrific defensive catcher, but I've been really impressed. Those last 2 times that Stubb started, he threw people out on the base, and he called great games for 4th and 5th pitchers, and they won the games. And so
he has a really good dynamic with Nola and with Painter. Yeah. So that to me is a big, big plus here for him. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it's a very, very important decisions at a position of a scarcity.
Well, plus he's a reliever too, right?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. The other day I was really praying for him to come in because, I obviously didn't trust anybody who was in there. And so
you guys are incredible. So I have some things to talk about the week. So one thing, the first one, to me, sorry, Kyle, thank you for your messages. We truly appreciate it. Send us your messages. We'd love to get your questions here and answer them. Again, the idea of Phillies Weekly is for the fans, by the fans. Let's just put it that way. So I thought this was very well done. I thought, Kyle Schwarber stole the show, and I think Aaron Nola stole the show. I didn't put an image here with Aaron Nola, but I thought Aaron Nola did an outstanding job. I do believe that Netflix did a nice job with the production. They try to make it cinema. Some of the things they did, some bad jokes like corn dogs and some of the things that we hear there, we could have done without. But I thought it was very well produced, and I thought it was, for the Phillies, it was, to me, hopefully it was a spark for this team to start coming together and playing. I love with the Schwarber home run how Mundito Sosa was. It reminded me of 2022, Nick, the magic and how we fell there. So, look, hopefully this is the start of something, and it was special. I don't know how you guys saw it.
Yeah, I agree. It was really nicely done. Going into the Field of Dreams game, I was not excited about any of it.
Dude, exactly.
The way the team was playing, I was like, this is absurd. I'm not really interested in this. And then, by the middle of the game.
One swing, I was back in.
Well, can I say a thing? What part that really shocked me was how profoundly affected the players were by the experience of being there. That, you sit there and you think they all started playing the game as little kids. They had a joy for it as little kids. And, we've talked about this in the past, about my disappointment when Stott killed off the daycare celebrations because I thought the team was too stiff, too rigid, not having enough fun. And they went to Iowa and kind of rediscovered why they play the game. And that was, for me, unexpected and really pleasing. And, they showed that thing of everybody throwing the ball with all the fans out on the other field. And I'm thinking to myself, this...
Maybe there's something here. Maybe there really is.
Because I've watched the other Field of Dreams games, I don't remember other teams being as energized by it. But maybe that I wasn't a fan of the other team, so I missed the signals. But
and it's heavy travel, guys. It was heavy travel. I mean, to get here. I mean, after playing in St. Louis and coming here and just trying to get it done. I mean, I thought it was wonderfully done. I thought the MLB, Netflix, the Phillies, the Twins. I love the Twins part. I thought they came by bus. I'm not sure. I mean, they said that they were riding on the bus and looking at the scenery. I think the best airport to land is about an hour away.
Right, so, Dubuque.
Yeah. So it is a special, and hopefully the magic. I mean, there's like a little one here, a magic one that goes over this team. And hey,
listen, and that whole vista of Schwarber hitting that first home run, and you just seeing the corn going on for like 100 miles.
Yeah.
Field, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, that's different, right? and what the great part was, they weren't so professional that they couldn't appreciate that difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what Stott did with his cleats. I mean, the memories of a lot of the Phillies legends.
Harper's bat. That was
a corn.
Nice bat.
Listen, I even
he didn't hit a home run, so I'll take Schwarber's. But it was awesome. I mean, it was a wonderful experience, and it worked. I mean, the team won, and they won the last 3 games. So let's get to Turner day to day with a bruised right knee. Also, want to give a shout out to our friends at NBC Sports. I used some of the things they used on the broadcast today. First of all, this is how hot both Alec Bohm and Stott has been. I mean, Alec Bohm since the All-Star break, I mean, 320, 367 on base percentage, a slogan of 450, 8 doubles, home run today, 20 home runs. I mean, he probably has more home runs, but that's what they had in the screen. 20 RBIs today with the 3 today, 23. And then hitting with runners in scoring position, 345. This is the Alec Bohm that we dreamed that we were going to have. I mean, after developing, that we had not seen all year. I mean, this guy has not been. Him and Turner are probably two of my biggest, from a hitting standpoint, two of my biggest disappointment this year. Alec Bohm and Trey Turner. And then it was interesting that he talked about a game plan that they had been talking about, that the Phillies have been chasing too much outside of the strike zone, and they've been pitching outside. Pitchers have been pitching too much outside, and we've been chasing too much, and that they have kind of a renewed game plan. I thought that was interesting. That was brought up by Alec Bohm, and then back up by Don Mattingly with that statement there today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's been their issue, and they've been saying that's their game plan and what they're going to change for years now. It finally clicked, and now they're going to do it. That'd be great. But yeah, can't say enough about what these two guys have done lately.
Yeah, but guys, if we've learned anything, it's only the last game that matters, right? So if you win the last game, doesn't matter what happened in front of that. Yep. And we all remember teams that had no business being in the World Series that won the last game. The Diamondbacks. There have been lots of teams like that.
I mean, yeah, the Diamondbacks. Who would have guessed the Diamondbacks were going to win 2023? There's no way.
Yeah, well, I was talking about the time they won the World Series. I mean, they totally didn't deserve that. And there are lots of teams that have won World Series by playing great when it really mattered.
And look, the Dodgers look beatable now. I mean, the Dodgers don't look like the mighty Dodgers anymore. We'll see what happens. They got enough pitching. They have enough pitching to have elite starting pitching A, elite starting pitching B, and C, 3 rotations. I mean, this is incredible. I can't believe they got Bobik from Kansas City, one of the best lefties in baseball the last couple of years. I mean, it's just incredible. And in addition to Skubal, that has not won a game yet. So it'll be very interesting.
To me, the really interesting thing about the Dodgers is that
thank you, Danny.
They have become the poster child for MLB, right? Where MLB's got its thumb on the scale everywhere to boost them up, whether it's gambling scandals, whether it's changing the rules so they have an extra pitcher, all of those things that have favored them. And now MLB is trying to have it the other way and say this is the reason why we need to have a salary cap, where the Dodgers are actually the best argument for not having a salary cap, because unless you're going to blow up their roster and force them to get rid of all their players, you're not going to be able to have a reasonable salary cap anytime soon, no matter what.
No, absolutely not. I mean, 1.1 billion in deferred salary. 1.1 billion.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at this just going, the great thing about the Dodgers, if it's really true that their guys are aging all together, and so suddenly the fastball up and in is getting by them all. I mean, obviously Freddie had a very good month, so he may be back, but they've had a lot of trouble, with Teoscar, with Mookie, with
Mookie hasn't
Ohtani,
been the same.
with Ohtani. All of these guys have had trouble, on fastballs, and I don't know whether that's going to make a big enough difference for us, but I'd like a chance to find out.
Yeah. Being respectful of time, I wanted to bring this up because today a report came out from Bob Nightingale that Alex Cora is expected to be the next manager of Philadelphia Phillies. I don't think that's a surprise for a lot of us that we know how the relationship between Dombrowski and Alex Cora is. He offered him the job. I mean, on top of it. I wanted to put Rob here because I wanted to ask you the question. If you had to do it all over again, would you have remained with Rob or would you have gone to Don Mattingly? I said it since it started. I would have given Rob at least 10 more games because that was our weakest part of the schedule. And I love what this guy did for the Phils. I do understand. If you wanted to get rid of Rob, you should have done it after the Dodgers series last year, not after 20 games or whatever. So I don't know your thoughts and in terms of Rob, Don, and then this report about Alex Cora.
I think I would rather have Rob Thompson as the manager of the Phillies right now than on Mattingly. Now that said, I don't necessarily think that means that firing Thompson at 9-19 wasn't the right move because it felt like they needed a spark. Some of it was the schedule, as you mentioned, Oscar, but some of it was just something needed to change before.
No. I know that, but 10 games. I would have given him the 10 games that has the weakest part of the schedule. You came from facing the Braves and the Chicago Cubs, that the hottest teams in baseball. And I agree, the team was not playing well at all. But I think
they wanted to give the new guy the softer schedule, just like they did when Thompson took over for Girardi. There was the softer schedule, so like the new guy starts to look good.
I don't know. I just feel for Rob and that he got a run bargain, and I mean he deserves better for everything that he did for this team, getting us to a playoff in 4 straight years, including a World Series. So
I agree, but I agree 1,000% with John. I think if you waited 10 more games to fire Rob, you might be 10 behind the wild card right now. So I think I actually thought they were going to stick with him because they won that last game against the Braves, right? And they didn't do anything on the day off. So I think everyone's like, okay, they're going to stick with Rob. And then I think that Monday or Tuesday is when they fired him. And we're just like, whoa, like I kind of didn't expect it. But, obviously the players responded to that. And I think that was the reason why it happened, because Dave Dombrowski wanted the players to respond to that. And they did. They responded as well as any team could after that. But again, I agree. For right now, we're sitting here. I'd rather Rob be running the team. But, they're here now. And if they continue to win, it's going to be in spite of Don Mattingly. And I think that's just how this team is right now.
Roger, your thoughts?
So if it were up to me, I would rehire Rob. And I mean, I'd rehire him like today.
Yeah.
I think that, you guys know.
Throw it out there in the message.
I'm a huge Rob Thompson fan. And I think some of the problems that we're having with our bullpen, we would not be having if he were managing.
The management of the bullpen,
I think he is an A+ manager of the human beings. And we've had a couple times where Don has lost his cool with the players, where Rob would not have. Yeah. Where Rob would have fallen on his sword for them and it would have helped. And so I really think that Rob Thompson is actually really a great manager for this team. Now, he had some blind spots, right? Particularly the lefty-righty platoon thing, where I wonder if a little time off will give him some perspective on that and he wouldn't come back as an even better manager. But I'm a huge fan. I don't want to say about Alex Cora because, my impression is he's a very good manager, but he's also, he was the manager of of a team that got busted for cheating and, or I guess he was the coach. He was a coach. He was the coach, but he played a key role in that. And so, he's obviously enormously talented and he might well be exactly what we need. I just don't feel competent to say, but I do feel competent to make the point that I think for the team as constructed, team was built for Rob, and as constructed, I think he's the better guy to manage it.
Yeah, I think, look, depending if we go to World Series or not, I do believe this team needs change. This team needs a new, fresh perspective, and a guy like Cora could potentially bring that. I mean, 8 years, 1 World Series. He's gone 3 times to the postseason. Has a great record in the postseason. Look, it'll be very, very interesting.
Well, but Oscar, it's not going to be enough to change the manager.
No. I'm saying
the things that are wrong with this team are structural.
I agree. It's a combination of 2 things, right? To me, I think it can potentially adjust some of the coaching and development that happens on this team. But I agree with you. Structurally, this team needs to change from a player's perspective standpoint. I agree 100%. At the end of the day, it's about the players.
We need to be able to field. We need to be able to run the bases.
I agree.
Right? We need to be able to come into games without freaking out if you're in the bullpen, right? And, some of that is coaching, but some of it is the players too, right? I mean, but I do think philosophically this whole notion when Arise comes in that the right strategy was to put 4 people out of position or 3 people out of position in order to accommodate that. That wouldn't have been my first instinct. Now, Bowman made them look,
and Trey Turner stays in position.
Say what?
4 people out of position, but Trey Turner, possibly the biggest problem.
They should have moved Trey Turner and move his Stott to shortstop and leave.
Has he made an error though since the trade deadline? I don't remember.
Yeah, but it's beyond
think he
that.
has.
It's beyond that.
It is, but it's just.
I mean, look at the knee. Look at Harper's knee. We cannot be fooling around with Harper's knee. I mean,
right.
So if playing right field, I mean, it creates an issue. I mean, you're putting him in harm's way, and that is a problem. That is a problem. Yeah. He's not any younger. I mean, he hasn't played there in 5 years.
Well, and the thing that's really interesting is we shouldn't be afraid to play Schwarber in left field 1 or 2 days a week. If you're willing to play Sosa in left field, you should be willing to play, just so that way you can have the DH position for other people. And, because a lot of the problem is that inflexibility around where you have your best hitter as your DH. That limits your ability to manage the players on the field.
Yeah, no, that is fair. That is fair. Here's another slide, and we started talking about this, which I think I find interesting. Where should Arise hit in the Phillies lineup? And I wanted to show where Arise has hit historically. So his career is 318 batting average. He's hitting 320, or when he came to the Phillies, he was hitting 324, 363 on base, 360. He has not been hitting great, which can I tell you something? If this was another player, I would be worried. This guy, I don't have the slightest. This guy is a hitting machine. I mean, this guy is Tony Wing. This guy, you put him, Rod Carew. I mean, those are the guys that are the natural. I mean, this guy can hit anywhere. And I mean, you saw it today. I mean, he went out and got that double, and Harper almost scored later on. I mean, we scored, but we were able to tie the game and win the game on help by that double that he hit. So look, this guy's a hitting machine. Now, historically, he's played first in 452 games at first in the batting order, 222 second. Those are his primarily batting orders historically. He's only had now 50 games with today hitting in the fourth hole. And he historically had hit less. I'm not worried too much about it. And I wanted to bring this up because this is something everybody started to talk about. Let's be very, very clear. He either hit second or fourth. Nobody's moving Schwarber from leadoff. Schwarber is like Ohtani. If you put Ohtani's numbers and you put Schwarber numbers, they're basically identical. You look at Schwarber strikes out probably 3 or 4% more than Ohtani, but they're almost identical if you start looking at Ohtani and Schwarber. I mean, Ohtani can run a little better and some of the additional peripheral things that might be a little bit different. But to me, Schwarber needs to be our leadoff hitter because he gets on base. And then if he gets on base, and then the other thing I think is this, what's in here in this slide here. This guy has the highest career average since 1976 with a 354 batting average with runners in the scoring position. Look, to me, this tells me that he needs to hit fourth all the way, and I don't have a single problem with that. The problem is our second hole hitter cannot get on base, and that is a big, big issue.
Well, do you guys pay attention to Ryan Spader's idea about, how Harper needs to hit lead off or second? I mean, I think this notion of Harper leading off with Arise hitting second and Schwarber hitting third is something that they should take out for a test drive. And, it's 3 lefties to start off. Big deal. And
I don't care about that. Schwarber
couldn't care less. Especially not with those 3.
Hit better lefties than righties.
But the interesting thing about Harper is when he has Arise behind him with all those walks, he looks like a leadoff hitter. And the reality is that Kyle, his back is obviously still a little bit of a problem, right? Because he's not as crisp as he was for the first 3 months of the season. And, I wonder if we can't do better by thinking about Harper and Arise in the first 2 spots.
I mean, Harper has clearly stated that he prefers to hit third. But
No, sorry, I understand that, but statistically, that doesn't actually make any sense because I think he has 50 more at bats this year with 2 outs and nobody on base than any other player in the major leagues.
Yeah, Ryan makes a really good argument there. I definitely think that's worth taking for a test drive. I absolutely do not think they will do it. And I think based out of the realistic options that they will actually try, I just love Arise hitting fourth. I mean, these numbers here don't scare me. Small sample size.
Sure.
50.
Him hitting behind Harper is clearly a great thing.
Yes.
Wherever it is, I want him behind Harper.
Right.
So that it's interesting. I didn't think about Harper leading off, but if he's willing to do it, I mean, I'll definitely take a test drive on that. You have probably your best 2 natural hitters in the sense of getting on base and being able to hit from an average standpoint in Harper and Arise. And then you hit Schwarber third, which is look, there is a very high probability that we do not have a hitter with 100 RBIs. Schwarber had 132 last year. There's a very, very high probability that we do not have a hitter with 100 RBIs on this team. And by the way, do you know how many RBIs? I mean, I think Schwarber is at 70. I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on, I have it here.
He and Harper, I think, have the same number, right? They're both like
they have. I have it here. Schwarber has 72 RBIs and Harper has 72 RBIs. You know how many RBIs Alec Bohm has? 68. He's 4 RBIs away after everything we've talked about Alec Bohm and like he's having the worst year of his life. He has 68 RBIs with 14 home runs, 68 RBIs. But his on-base percentage is 300. Turner on-base percentage is 298. So Schwarber is 368 on-base percentage and Harper 375. Harper is hitting 356 and Schwarber is hitting 247. So, I mean, the thing with Schwarber is that he strikes out more than we all want, like a third of the time. But I agree with you that having a rise after Harper in whatever position you want is the most important thing for this team.
Well, and I think having Turner hit, if you use the Spader thing, Turner's like the 7 or 8 hole hitter.
Yeah. And then you hit whomever is hot on front. You hit whomever is hot on front. Go ahead, John.
There's definitely something to be said for guaranteeing that Schwarber, Harper, and Arise all hit in the first inning. That would be something. And
that'd be optimal.
The 3 lefties, because 2 of them hit lefties very well.
Yeah, let's see some of the things that some of our friends here. A Latino friend of mine, Rafael. We Latinos don't like passive managers. Rob Thompson was an extreme passive manager. It was incredible to watch him just stand there and do nothing.
Well, but how does he feel about Mattingly? I mean, what's changed in that regard?
We Latinos. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
But
we Latinos.
Hang on. I'm happy to wave in a Latino manager. I'm you know me. I'm a big believer, heart and soul, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I want us to look like Team Venezuela, right?
It's beyond Team Venezuela. Hey, Rise was part of Team Venezuela that won the World Baseball Championship. So I mean, there is hope. There is hope, and he was a big time hitter in that for the Venezuelan team. We just need to get Showreel. That's a guy that we need to get from Milwaukee. That guy's a beast, man, a beast. I mean, that just, if you watch a player that is special, Showreel, just watch him play. I mean, that guy is a machine. I love it. I love how he plays the game. What is it? Kevin says here, the main reason the Phillies improved in May after April was adding Zach Wheeler. Well, was one of the reasons. But that's the first one.
But it was really important. No, I mean, come on. Adding Wheeler changed everything.
Yeah, I agree. His first
10 starts were insanely good.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, look, I'll brief over the next few slides that I have, and then we'll close it, and we'll talk about what all the magic that John has in his store, and all the wonderful thing Nick's continued to do for all of us. So here's where we are: 7.5 games away from behind the Braves. I don't think we're catching the Braves. Let's not worry about that. The next one talks about kind of where we truly are. So right now we're tied with the Padres with 67 and 58. Remember, we swept the Padres, so we have an advantage over them. And the D-backs are now 1 game behind. The Marlins are 3 games. The Cardinals are 3.5. The Cardinals are coming to Philly. We better win 2 out of 3 games in Philly, so we put these guys behind us and don't have to worry about it. Remember, now they have this monster.
Same with the Marlins. Same with the Marlins.
The Jesus Baez that has the greatest game, inaugural game or in the history of baseball. 3 home runs in his first game.
3 at bats,
In his first 3 at-bats. First 3 at-bats.
Nobody's
as somebody said, by middle of 2028, if he kept that pace up, he'd pass Barry Bonds.
Look, I thought that was one of the biggest ones in the history of baseball after Cal Ripken. I mean, after Cal Ripken, this one probably tops Cal Ripken. I mean, 3 home runs in the first 3 at bats. That's incredible.
Yeah. So, I loved his mother's line. Somebody asked his mother, "Were you surprised that your son hit 3 home runs in his first game?" Her response was, "Not surprised at all. He hit 4 in AAA."
Oh my God!
Oh my God. You go, Mom. No wonder he's so good.
I love it. Guys, just going over here, and I mean, to me, it's Philly, Padres, and D-backs, a 3-team race for 2 spots. You guys agree, or you still feel the Marlins or the Cardinals? I mean, could come and give us an escape.
I mean, we still got a month and a half left, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not counting anyone out right now.
Yeah, especially not the Cardinals.
The Marlins are really good at home.
They are insanely good. No, the Marlins are Marlins, but they're incredibly young. The thing about the Cardinals, who are also young, is that, I mean, we just watched them in that series. They
Walker,
team that could make the playoffs. They really do. And if they did, they'd be scary.
You know, the guy that we love to have here, and I know he hits lefty, Burleson. That guy is a hitter, man. That guy stands up there. He's a machine. Burleson is one of the best hitters in baseball, in my view. I mean, he's like 8th or 7th or 8th in OPS in all of baseball right now. You're going to say something, Roger?
Well, I want Baez.
Right-handed bat. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So
he's still got an OPS over 2. So, it's
projections. We only have a 7.7% percentage of winning the East. But interesting enough, the World Series, the Braves are 7.6% chance of winning the World Series, and we're 6.5. So there's respect for us at least out there.
I don't think that's well-earned respect yet. I think
I agree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. Let me see some things, some of the slides we've seen before. This is where our hitting is overall. Let me see here. Here's kind of where hitting is overall, and you see the inconsistencies, right? So on one end, we are, way down on average on base percent. We're 22nd or 23rd in baseball on base percentage. These are the latest ones. I did it just after the game finished. We're 20th in OPS. You see the inconsistencies, again, right-handed and left-handed pitching. But we're second in baseball in OPS with runners in scoring position. We're 9th in home runs, and we have a really hard hit. But the problem is we don't get enough on base. It boils down to not getting on base because we're 23rd in strikeouts and only 23rd in getting base on balls. And we have 22nd, so we don't get him on base enough. And hopefully with a rise, that will change a little bit. But
it's getting better, right? The slide earlier showed on base is getting better. This 22nd doesn't look good in red, but it's better than 30th.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was all.
So
that's kind of where our hitting is. This is what I showed you before about where our guys are month by month. Here's kind of we have 2 hitters that are in green in terms of OPS. This has improved, the 743 and the 747 in the first and the 8th goal. But then my bad. The middle of the order is a problem. 640, 645, 630, 687. Again, this for the entire year. And here's where we are based on the positions that we play on the field. Doesn't have the H there. Here's where our pitching is. So you see we're interesting. So we're 17th in ERA overall. But take a look at our starting pitcher. We're 12th, but then we're number 1 in strikeouts. So we're really good striking out people. We're the best team in baseball striking out. 9th in base on balls. We have allowed more home runs than we ideally want, particularly our starting pitching with Nola and with Painter. And then you see kind of our innings. We're 6th. Last year we were first with our starters in innings pitch, but here's kind of our overall perspective where our relievers are. Any thoughts on how you see the relievers?
Just get it to Bolin and Duran, man.
What was that?
Just get to Bolin and Duran.
Yeah, that's
actually.
Kind of
I have a small amount of optimism about our relievers, and there's a couple things that figure there. I think McFarland is going to be inconsistent, but I think that he has a chance to be from the right side what we hoped Alvarado would be from the left, which is a guy who just basically blows you away in the middle innings, right? And so I think the combination of him. You're all set up on the right-hand side because he and Bolin and Duran are right now all people whose roles are really super, super clear. And they've worked really hard to try to figure out how to make Meza into a high-quality guy. And when he's good, he's great. And then, about every third time, the first guy up gets an extra base hit, right? And the rest of the bullpen has been predictably disappointing. And that's something that I hope we can snap out of, because that's the great thing about being in the bullpen. You have one good appearance and then the next one's a little bit easier and then you get better. And that happened to Bolin. He got banged around a bit early and he got it together and he's fine. And I'm hopeful that Kerkering will be fine. I'm terrified about Alvarado. I just do not understand his inability to
command, it's an issue. I mean, command, he just doesn't command his pitches. That's the bottom line. I mean, it's the reality. So here's our schedule for the next 3 weeks. So we got the Marlins, we got Sanchez and Junk tomorrow. We got Wheeler pitching on Tuesday against TBD. We got Nola pitching against Alcantara. That's going to be a good matchup on Wednesday. Then we get finally a Thursday off, not a Friday. We get a Thursday off, and then we play San Luis is going to come here. Luzardo against Dobbins, Painter against Palante. A little scary that Saturday game. And then Sunday is going to be Sanchez against Leahy. And then Seattle comes. Seattle has been one of the most disappointing teams in all of baseball, but they got great pitching. I mean, look at their guy. They got Gilbert, Kirby, and Hancock against us, against Wheeler, Nola, and Luzardo. Then we got the Angels coming up, and then things will start getting really, really interesting, because to me, these are the most important series of the year, which remains of the year. August 31st, September 1st, and September 2nd in Arizona. And then Atlanta comes home for 4 games. And that's going to be very, very telling. I think that's Labor Day weekend there on against Atlanta. Is going to be visiting the Fighting Phils. So, look, the opportunity right now is there in front of us. We got to beat the Marlins. We got to beat St. Louis. Got to beat Seattle, because the toughest part of the schedule is coming up. And it's
hang on, dude. We got to beat Arizona, and we got to beat Atlanta, too. I mean, in many ways, showing that you can beat teams that are above you, that's the thing where we really look bad. And, yes, all the games are the same. They all count the same in the standings. But when you get to the end of the year, you have to be able to beat the teams above you. And
I like the way
so far this year, we just have not been able to do that.
I like the way this sets up. You have an opportunity here. We talked about how close the Marlins and Cardinals were in the wild card race. You have an opportunity to maybe knock them out of it.
Yeah.
Pick up a little steam, and then maybe go in, towards the teams on the end of this chunk of the schedule here, feeling good, and maybe make a statement against Atlanta.
Nick, I have a question for you. As you've gone throughout the year, do you feel this year has been, I mean, in terms of fan engagement, because you read that to all the magic that you have, do you feel, how do you view 2026 compared to the other years, the last few years for the Phils?
People are tired. They're kind of exhausted about this team. They think the window is closed, a lot of them. But at the same time, we all think there's going to be no baseball next year. So this has to be the year, right, for this particular group. So I think there are people that are kind of holding on to it a little bit. They have some hope. Some of the highlights that even I post, people are like, who cares? But that's not going to make me stop. Like I enjoy it.
No. We know.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the moments. It's been.
Hey, Nick, you do it for me. You do it for me.
Exactly.
Look,
as annoying as the year has been, there's still been a lot of great moments throughout this
unbelievable
season.
Moments.
Yeah. And that's worth remembering and worth at least acknowledging. So,
I actually think that going into the playoffs, if we can get there as an underdog,
oh, absolutely would be.
It's
I would be
much
better.
More exciting place to be than to be.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I mean, and if you win the first game,
team knows that.
If you win the first game,
relishes being underdogs.
I think. Look, this team needs to win a series in the postseason. I mean, they need to regain momentum, to regain that they're capable of doing. I mean, we haven't won a series the last 2 years. I mean, it's like
there's a part of me that really wants to see Atlanta pass Los Angeles, so the Dodgers are the third-ranked team, and for us to finish in the last wild card thing, so we get to go to LA and play them in a short series. I mean, that's by far our best chance to beat them, and weirdly, we match up great against them, and we play great in that ballpark. And so I look at this and I go, just get me there. Right.
Yeah, by the way, they're half a game behind the Braves, the Dodgers. So their Dodgers are third now, half a game.
Oh, okay, so they're third now, but keep them that way. Because I look at this as, the thing, to Nick's point, the thing I really notice, and you guys, because you're professionals and you're there all the time, maybe this isn't your perception, but mine is there's way more people writing about the Phillies on Twitter than there used to be. And most of them are incredibly emotional, really short term, and super cranky. And I look at this as going, how about if you guys sit out the rest of the season, let us enjoy this, because you're really, this is just not working. And there's a bunch of guys doing that, and it's like, reacting to every little thing like it's a football season and you only get 16 or 17 games. This is baseball. It's a completely different animal, and you have ups and downs. There's nothing you do about it. And
no, it's the truth. Now let's talk about some of the fun stuff. I mean,
let's talk about Foley.
There's the man, the one and only John. Talk to us, man. Talk to us.
Hey,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
From all the world championships and what sells the most? I mean, if you look at what sells the most on the store?
In terms of the memorabilia?
Yeah, memorabilia, but I mean the history of the team and some of the things. Is it a specific player?
That 2008 team is still the most popular.
2008?
The 2008 players are still the most popular by far. Those are the signed baseballs that move. The framed photos of the 2008 guys. Everybody loves the 2008 team. It's they're just in a tier of their own compared to everything else in the shop. And
but some of us like Derek Hill, so there we go.
Yes, 2008 and Derek Hill. Derek Hill
and Derek Hill and Derek Hill. And here's some of the things that you can find in the store, which I absolutely love. You got King James shirts now. You have the best array of T-shirts in town. I mean, there's nobody that has the type of T-shirts you have. I mean, they're so unique in terms of design. I love this. This is what I was saying. That sweatshirt, man, I'm going for it, man.
I mean, it's really, I view the store just as a celebration of fan culture. There's so many talented people making so many amazing things. So they sort of go around and collect all the best from the city, from South Jersey, from the Philly suburbs, and bring it all in one spot, and then have people walk in and say, wow, I've never seen these designs before. It makes me really happy because it means there's a service being provided there of, bringing all this together and putting it out there and giving people an alternative to, Fanatics and the other big players that everyone sort of complains about. I just want people to know they have options. If you come in and you see some of these things, if people come in and they see it, they love it. So.
I absolutely love it. I think you do an amazing job. And I mean, anything, both you and Roger is a testament of this, both of the work that you guys do. I mean, us that love this team from the outside, what you guys do is incredible. Nick, your videos are out of this world. I call you my MVP. When I was doing the games, I mean, you absolutely showcase, and I love it. It's art, and what you do is amazing, man. I cannot thank you enough for everything you've done for me and for others in this industry. Truly appreciate you tremendously. And John, I mean, you kind of bring it to life through the store and what we all want as fans. So thank you both for what you do and all the magic that you do every single day.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
Roger, when is the next concert?
Great question. We're playing for the San Francisco Giants on the 25th of the month. We play for them every year. And so we'll be out. First, we do an event under the stands in what they call Triples Alley. Then we play on the dugout right before the national anthem. And it's weird because we go out of character. It's Grateful Dead night. They do once a year. And about 15 years ago or 14 years ago, we accidentally got invited to do. And we did such a good job of it that they've had us back every year since. So,
oh my goodness!
So it's fun. Playing at a ballpark is really a trip, and
that is awesome. I don't know why the thing starts going back and forth when I change the screen.
Because the thing is so excited about playing for the Giants, which are a team on its way to.
And it's awesome. We got to get the Phillies to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like that? I mean, to play for the Phillies?
Oh, yeah, no, I would love to play for the Phillies. You kidding?
Absolutely. Hey, we're gonna talk.
No,
we're gonna talk to
one year the Phillies were in town and they won the game like, I want to say like 14-4 or something. Harper hit a home run that I think was a splash home run, and it was just like, it was magical because how many ball games have the Phillies won in San Francisco over the last 10 years? You can count them on one hand, and one of them was on the night we played. I was completely responsible for that.
I promise that I did not pay Dorwin for the. It's by the way, he's a huge Phillies fans. One of the huge Phillies fans out there. Guys, cannot thank you enough for being here on Phillies Weekly. We're looking forward to having you very soon. Again, you guys are amazing at what you do, and I personally truly appreciate it. A big hug for Jeff Kerr. He's not here today. I'm gonna invite him as a guest now. He wants to be a guest more than being every day now that Phillies Week, that the Eagles season just started yesterday. So a big hug to Jeff, and we truly appreciate it, everything he's done for this program over the years, and look forward to next week. Next week at 8 p.m. The Phillies. Come on, guys. Let's go. We can do it. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful week. God bless.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber ball, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y